Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to do my May update to my Pan Those eyeshadows. I do want to tell you guys just at the beginning of this video, I'm switching things up again. And I have curated, let me grab it here, a large palette full of some of my Natasha Denona shades. I've done this once before. I do believe I actually have a video on it on my channel. I usually play around with it for a couple months and then put my shades back. So I did it again and I actually put looks together, but I'll show you this more towards the end of the video. If you haven't seen this project before, this was created by Alexi. And essentially you randomly choose eyeshadows to work on and you either hit pan on them or have a usage goal, whatever you feel like. For me, I do randomly choose my eyeshadows. However, I either need to hit pan or use it 20 times, whichever one comes first. And I have changed this project to fit my needs multiple times because my goal is for me not to become bored. And last month I rolled in shades separately and I just used the random number generator and I got quite a few shades. So I want to start and give you guys an update on where I'm at and then talk to you about what I'm going to try differently for the month of May. So the first shade that I did roll in comes from my Lorac Pro 3 and it is the shade Cool Taupe. Here's what that shade looks like right here. So I do have a little bit of a dent in it in the middle of the pan. Since this isn't a shimmer, I'm probably not going to get like an intense pan in it. Just because shimmers, I use smaller brushes and I really load up the brush. However, I have used this shade 10 times and I'm really enjoying using it in my eye looks. And like I said, I've used it 10 times, so I either need to use it 10 more times or keep it in my project until I hit pan on it. It's whatever I decide I want to do. Obviously for now, it's staying in the project. The next shade is also a Lorac palette. This is the Vintage Glam, that's what it is. And I got another crease shade, but this one is definitely more cool toned, and this is the shade Cinema. So Cinema I have actually only used 7 times, which, I mean, it's only 3 times less. I use this for more of my cooler toned eyeshadow looks because it's definitely more of a mauve shade. I don't see much progress other than maybe some brush marks on it, but there's that. So I do need to use this 13 more times before I can technically roll it out, or I may decide to just keep it in until I hit pan. The third shade, it comes from my Natasha Denona Glam palette, and it's the 13th shade in the palette. Here's just, I popped it out of the palette, and you guys can see that I did hit pan on this, and I used this 15 times. So I do have a little tiny pan, and then there is like a pretty decent sized dip in the middle of the eyeshadow. I used this, I feel like I used it more than 13 times, but if you've watched these videos before, you know that sometimes I'm not the best at tracking my usage. However, this is a gorgeous all over the lid color. It's gorgeous in the inner corner. I actually have been using it to line my lower lash line, and I really like the way that brightens up my eye look. But I've also used it as like the middle shade when I'm doing a halo eye. So I have hit pan on this, so this is going to roll out and I'm going to roll in a new shade. All right, the next 3 shades come from my little Z palette. Again, this is a mixture of depotted eyeshadows or just single shadows. I do have pan and some shadows in this palette. The 3 shades that I was working on are right here, so I'm going to pop those out so that I can go over them with you. I am actually going to declutter all 3 of these shades, and I'll tell you why for different reasons. But this is Pocket Change, and this is by Makeup Geek. I used this 9 times. This was actually my favorite out of the 3. And you guys can see there's a pretty good dip in there. I'm happy with the usage I got. The reason why I'm decluttering this, I mean, that is Is that not so pretty? I'm decluttering this because no matter what primer I use, no matter how I set my eyes, don't set my eyes, this shadow creases on me, which is really unusual. I don't really have an issue with that, so this is going to be passed along, decluttered, whatever. It's leaving my collection. I'm not too sad about it, only because I know I have shades in my other palettes just like that. I actually went through and swatched to make sure that I do, but that will be leaving my collection, and I will be rolling a new shade in. So the next one is called Lucky Penny, and this is also by Makeup Geek. Hopefully you guys can see the progress right there. My camera's having a hard time focusing on this one, but I have a pretty good dip in it. Like I said, I used this 7 times, and same issue with the pocket change is that it creases on me. So I think it has something to do with her old formula. Just doesn't, I guess, agree with my eyelids. I don't know. And again, I feel comfortable moving it out of my collection because I have shades in my palettes that I love that are the, they're dupe for this. The last one is from Urban Decay, and this is the shade Toasted. So this is a gorgeous shade, and I do like it. I've always liked it. And I have shades that are, in my collection that I like just as much. However, what I don't like about this is it's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's so dry. And I think, in all fairness, all 3 of these shades are very, very old. They are shades in my collection that I've had before, I got, my Natasha Denona shadows or Pat McGrath or anything like that. So I've had these for a very, very long time. However, this is so dry that no matter what base I use, whether it's a glitter glue or tacky base, whatever, I just can't get the pigment there. I can't get it to build on top of my eyes. It's very patchy. So Urban Decay is not my favorite formula to begin with. So I think that has something to do with it, but I just think that, its lifespan is over, and it just needs to leave my collection. So that means I'm going to roll in 4 different eyeshadows. Very exciting. I'm not too disappointed that, I just spent a month using some eyeshadows that I ended up decluttering. So how we are going to do this is I'm going to use that large palette I told you guys about. And these are shades from all of my Natasha Denona palettes. And really, I'm just going to, for the next month or 2, I'm just going to pick my Pan Those eyeshadow shades out of these. I just want to see some pan in these shadows. And actually, how I did it was, I'll real quick go over with you guys. These 3 rows right here are just like 3 different color stories for mattes. So I've got my, what I think are more neutral, cool, and warm. These are just 3 shades that I really love, and I usually just pair by themselves. This little 6 pan right here is a color story, as is this one, and then the rest are all quads for the most part. So we've got all of the topper shades, we've got a quad, all of this stuff. So they're all quads, they're all little color stories, little looks that I put together. And I just want to use my random number generator and pick 4 shades out of this palette. I'm still going to continue with my Lorac shades because I'm keeping them in my collection, so I do want to use them. But once those roll out, I may pick just from the Natasha Denona. I'm sorry if you can hear my cat chewing. His food bowl is right over there. And he's a little old fella and he chews loud. Okay, so not including the ones that already have pan, I do believe there's 70 shades in here. So I'm gonna pull up my random number generator and pick 4 shades 1 through 70. All right, so here it is right here. I'm going to randomize shade 62, 60, 54, and 33. And then I'm going to give myself 1 shade that I can re-roll if I'm just like, I can't do that this month. Because again, this is about shades I like and that I want to use and things I want to pan. So to get my shades, I'm going to start in the upper left-hand corner of the palette, and I'm just going to go over and count. So it's going to be like 1, 2, 3, and just go down the rows, okay? Okay, so I do have my 4 shades, and I want to roll one of them out. I think. I want to roll one of them out, so I'm going to randomize another number, which is 7. All right, so I have my 4 shades, and the first one, which is the number 33, comes from my Gold palette, and it's Lime Chrome, and this is like a, I think it's a duochrome. Hopefully you guys can see that shift. So that's so pretty. I do have it paired just because I have it paired with these type of greens. I don't know, I thought those might look nice together. You know, but who knows? I can pair it with whatever shadow I want, obviously. The next shade is from my Metropolis palette. Is that Metropolitan? Metropolis? How do I not remember? And I don't have it in here with me. So anyways, this is the shade Right. And here's what it looks like. Just like that. And that is from this color story right here. I actually rolled 2 shades from there. The second one is technically number 62, and it's the shade Blizz, I think, from the Bronze palette. This is a duochrome. It's not as much of a punch as some of her other ones, but it's there. It's a little shifty, you know? All right, and then the last one is from my Metropolis palette, and this is the shade Imperia. Very rich kind of gold. Here's that swatch. Beautiful. And that is actually in with this color story right here. All right, that is it for my Pan Those Eyeshadows update. If you like this video and want to see more, please make sure you subscribe. Other than that, I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.